former senior special assistant to Governor Biodun Oyebanji on new media, Mr. Abiodun Borisade, has called his former boss and incumbent Ekiti governor low.
For any governor to come on air or on print media and say that he has achieved 90% of his electoral promises within 2 years out of 4 is a blatant lie. Now, ask me why, and I will start to point things out to you. He came on board with the slogan of continuity. I'm an APC member. I'm a progressive to the core. You came on board with the slogan continuity. I'm struggling outside this airport. I'm struggling to see anything that has continued the good works that the previous administration has done. Say, for instance, and this is very, 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 very personal to me. There is no piped water in Ekiti State. Now, if we are talking about continuity and shared prosperity as is being lip serviced around town, why don't we have water flowing in Ekiti State? You have embarked on construction of an inner city bridge to nowhere. Now, the previous bridge that was constructed in Ekiti State, I personally commissioned a research. The research showed us that that bridge had just under 100 vehicles use that bridge within 24 hours. Now, if we have water in local governments, even in Adro Metropolis, I'm sure more than 100 people will benefit from it. We're talking about government of continuity. What would have opened Ekiti State, opened us up and put us at par with the states of Ogun, Oyo? What has made Lagos State what it is today is that Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. Dr. Kayode Fayemi, in his good wisdom, embarked on that road, although that road was planned, I think, 40 years before Dr. Kayode Fayemi's administration dusted the documents and brought that road to light, Ado to Inyi. If that Ado to Inyi road has been extended from Inyi to Itaore, it would match Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. It will open Ekiti up, the same way this airport is likely to open Ekiti up. My argument here is that rather than build that bridge, the bridge that will end up serving just maybe another set of 100 vehicles within 24 hours, a road that would have served over 1,000 vehicles plowing through Ekiti Road. If Ekiti State Government had commenced Inyi to Itaore, I don't think anything stops us from towing that road. Because recently, I think a couple of days back, the road between Makodi was towed. They've put toll gates there. You can generate your money, but you can recoup the money back. So when you're building a bridge, when people have no water to drink, and you're talking about continuity. I mean, yesterday I spoke with a friend of mine in the diaspora, and he says, oh, online you can see the water house. That means water is flowing. I said, water is not flowing in Ekiti. I'm resident in Ekiti and Abuja and Lagos. Yes, I have my own home here in Ekiti State. Ekiti would always be my home. There was a time that I would open my tap in Ekiti here and water would flow. I had, to God be the glory, I had a Gari processing plant in my hometown, Iloro Ekiti. I relied on government water, government supplied water then to process the Gari. What is going on? You are building bridges when people are thirsty.
Borisade, however, has words of commendation for the Ekiti Cargo Airport.
Under superior arguments, quoting the words of Dr. Kayode Fayemi, I think the airport is money well spent, just like the life of every airport. It's a progressive syndrome, so to say. It doesn't end. Even JFK Airport is always under continuous improvement. So Ekiti Cargo Airport, Be that as it may, the name Cargo Airport, it's a dual airport. I'm sure it will, with time, be the jewel in southwest Nigeria, yes.
So the airport has come to stay?
Oh, obviously, we've got the solid infrastructure here. How busy it will be is what I believe all good-thinking Ekiti sons and daughters should start working towards. I, as an individual, and in whatever capacity I can, will promote this airport because it's here to stay and it's for the goodness of Ekiti State as a whole, yes.
You've just commended the airport project. Are there other achievements of the government that you want to also commend?
This particular administration of Biodun Abayomi has done absolutely nothing. I'm saying this with all sincerity. This airport was initiated, commenced, and commissioned by the previous administration. So what are we talking about? Well, let's hope he will commission the bridge before his 4-year tenure elapses. Because what else is going to commission, I am still searching. Because you cannot tell me Ado Ifaki Road that you want to commission that road. That road has featured yearly on the state budget. So don't tell me you want to commission that road.
Mr. Borisade, you said you were appointed the special assistant on new media by this government.
Yes.
You were expected to propagate the activities and speak in favor of the government.
Look, sir, the truth has no shade. I did not lobby for this appointment. I did not lobby or write application for any appointment. I was in my house in Abuja when the news came that I've been appointed SS, a Senior Special Assistant New Media to Governor Oyebanji's government. And he called me that night. And I know the conversations we had. And I told him my position with regards to working for his government. I will not lie. I would not be involved in propaganda to deceive people. I will not be involved in misinformation.
You told the government that?
I told the governor himself that. The governor and myself have, until recent, been in communication through WhatsApp chats and telephone calls, even personal visits to his house in Abuja. I am a friend of Ekiti State. I am a friend to any governor that wants the progress of Ekiti State. Let's not get the facts twisted. If today Governor Oyebanji decides to start to do the things that pleases the people, the things that are meaningful to people like me, when we see and we can commend that, yes, you're doing good, then you don't need to pay me 250, 500, 1,000 naira like people are being paid to talk about you. I don't believe in misinformation.
Some people see the governor as one who has built bridges across political divides, put people in offices regardless of what party they belong to. They see him as a unifier in Ekiti State, perhaps the first in the history of Ekiti State.
Thank you for that observation. I would say this: the peace and tranquility that Ekiti State is enjoying is not peculiar to Ekiti State. We must thank the President, Commander-in-Chief of the country. We must thank the Chief of Army Staff. We must thank CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff, Brigadier General, Major General Musa. We must thank even the police commissioners, the police formation. It is them I commend. Now, you talked about harmonizing political fronts. That is good. But at what expense? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. At what expense? A lot of individuals are on payroll for doing absolutely nothing, and except keeping quiet, not speaking the truth about their observations and things that are going on around us. It's not fair.
Another Ekiti election for the governorship seat is around the corner, and the incumbent governor has received endorsement.
1 million endorsement holds no water until the primaries are conducted. all these endorsements that we are seeing, is it people who are not able to open their tap and see water, or people who don't have 3 square meals a day? Are they the ones spending their own money, designing placards, second time? It is funded. It's just that, people like myself have to respect ourselves and maintain decorum. We don't want to mention names, but we know those who are producing those banners, those billboards, we know them. We know those who are getting paid from Ekiti State Government through the governor's office, who are not with government appointment letters. I thank God that I had the courage to notify those concerned. Stop paying me. Don't pay me any government salary for jobs that I'm not doing.
So you are no longer on the government payroll?
No, I thank God for that.
Since when?
Maybe I think October. Immediately during the 2nd year anniversary celebration, I put in a letter, thinking I was part of the government. I put in a letter that I wanted to produce a 2nd year anniversary documentary for the governor. Till date, the letter has not been responded to. That's one. But some of their paid online writers actually made reference to it. That's why I'm also referring back to it now. And there and then, I wrote to the governor himself, and I also copied Tajuddin Adejumo, who has been the engine room of governance, so to say, that they should desist from paying me any monthly allowance, stipend, or any monies from the government under any guise. So if maybe they wanted to engage my services, maybe their terms of engagement I didn't find appropriate, because you cannot be paying me routinely for jobs that I've not solicited for.
So as of today, Mr. Borisade, you are not endorsing the governor for a 2nd term?
I will be the last person that would endorse Biodun Abayomi to govern Ekiti for another 4 years after I complete this term. You may ask me why, and I will start to list them. He came on board with a slogan of continuity. I have not seen continuity in this. He has again lip-serviced another slogan, shared prosperity. I don't see any prosperity being shared. What I see being shared is amongst just a handful of people who I don't want to call names yet. But as the time would, permit, in the nearest future, names will be mentioned, evidences will be provided. So I will not endorse him for a 2nd term agenda.
Mr. Borisade, if you are not endorsing the governor for a 2nd term, what is your alternative?
I will remain in APC. I remember at a point, a few of us moved away from APC to Labour Party when we followed Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, the distinguished Senate leader. We came back to the fold again. I think I've also come of age politically to be able to decide that I am not leaving APC for anybody's personal agenda. I will stay in APC. Whoever the party carries, I have just one vote. I may decide not to vote that person in, but I will not vote against APC. But to further buttress it, if the primaries are announced, the dates of the primaries are announced, I'm sure other people will come out. I'm sure other viable candidates will come out. So when they come out, we would make our choices then. But all this 2nd term endorsement, when you have not even crossed into halftime, it smells of nothing outside propaganda, misinformation, and deceit.
What about if the governor emerges as the consensus candidate of the party?
There's nothing like consensus in democracy. What you can say is hands down. If he wins hands down, it's not a problem. At least the party has suffered a 16-0 defeat before. Don't get me wrong. Consensus does not, in my dictionary, in my understanding, when you say consensus, I think it's another way of saying we won't give others the opportunity. It's a simple, calm way of saying we won't give you the opportunity. Let primaries take place. When a winner emerges with little or no acrimony, then you would see people like us again come out in the toga of the party. We would bring the drums out, we will support the candidate. But if you're saying consensus without primaries, then it's, I think it's a way of just saying that APC will not win.
Mr. Borisade, do you have an aspirant in mind for the 2026 Ekiti governorship election?
I have been asked that question lots of times. And I will say this. To God be the glory, Ekiti has lots of capable hands. Lots of capable hands. I think it's high time we get somebody in that seat who has proven himself. We want people who can, be decisive. I will cite one instance for you. A couple of weeks ago, Governor Biodun came out and expressed the position of his government with regards to Sharia panels. What happened in Ekiti State? Ekiti State, we had to, the numero uno, our governor, I'm sorry, I'm going to use this word, our governor had to hide behind street protests. Till date, our governor has not come out to express his position. A similar instance in Ogun State, the governor made his position known. I believe similar was done in Lagos State. The hotspots where the Sharia panels were being propagated, the governors came out, they took their stands, except Ekiti State. We had to hide behind street protests. Who gave those people on the street? Who gave them the placards they were carrying? Who are they? Are they known faces? Are they Christian advocates? We have to ask ourselves certain questions. Even if you inherited the best of deceit machinery, the best propaganda machinery, Abba, you cannot pull the wool over everybody's eyes. Some of us are in this profession too, So I'm still saying you must show me outside that bridge. The governor must show me a project that he wants to commission, a real project that he wants to commission. He must show me.
Mr. Borisade, for some time, people were asking for a homebred governor as against those who came from outside Ekiti. And Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji happens to be the first homebred governor Ekiti will ever have. What about that?
3 months ago, I wrote an article. Governor Biodun Oyebanji did his primary, secondary, first degree, all within Ekiti State. I honestly don't see the impact because 2 years into his administration, the realities that Ekiti citizens are facing and experiencing, he has alienated himself from it. He has alienated himself from it. Does he know the realities on Ekiti Street? The government has bought people's silence. Let me just put it like that, bluntly. The government has bought people's silence. So with that, he's completely isolated from reality.
People of the Fountain.